The Performance, Season 7 of Netflix's chilling sci-fi anthology, was its best in years, and the highlight was Eulogy, a delicately bittersweet tale of love and loss powered by an absolutely heart-wrenching performance from Paul Giamatti. He's given us some astounding work over the years, from Sideways to The Holdovers, so it's saying something that his soulful, layered work here ranks right up there with the greatest of his career. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Like a lot of the best Black Mirror episodes, Eulogy was daringly sincere and heartfelt, with Giamatti playing a man named Philip, who learned that an old girlfriend of his named Carol had died. To help with Carol's memorial, a tech company asked Philip for any old photos he might have of her, allowing him to step inside the photos virtually to relive his memories. At first, Philip was reluctant to participate. He and Carol had an ugly breakup, and he had scribbled her face out of every photo, and Giamatti showed us how Philip had built up a wall of anger and resentment to protect his wounded psyche. But as Philip started to remember more about his time with Carol, we saw his eyes light up, as Giamatti infused a hint of youthful vigor into a man who'd long since said goodbye to anything like that. We also learned that it wasn't entirely Carol's fault that they split up, and Giamatti deftly let us see Philip's hardened resolve start to crumble and give way to an avalanche of regret over the years he wasted being angry. Near the episode's end, an older and wiser Philip watched a young Carol play the cello, with Giamatti's eyes filling with tears of wistful longing, and it's one of the most beautiful images Black Mirror has ever given us. It's easy for this show to get cold and cerebral, but Giamatti's towering work here reminded us that there's a beating human heart inside all of it. The performer Zahn McClarnon. The show Dark Winds. The episode, Abidu Naidi, What We Had Been Told. April 13, 2025. The Performance, Joe Leaphorn this week embarked on a long, very strange journey, and the always excellent Zahn McClarnon had us wrapped with the police lieutenant's every step, his every epiphany. Dosed and dazed by a poison dart shot into his neck by the Itzo, Joe woke to find himself in what Margaret the blind listening woman described as the yellow world. Joe was rightly confused by his whereabouts, and McClarnon's face reflected the discomforting aimlessness Joe felt. This dreamscape then began to reveal its inhabitants and its purpose, and we, like Joe, intently absorbed every upsetting detail. This hour-long Odyssey's mission was multi-layered. For one, it was very much about Joe remembering that, when he was a child, his father Henry, as the local lawman, exacted his own form of Indian justice on a priest who'd sexually abused Joe's young cousin. McClarnon broke your heart as the clergyman's specter suggested to Joe that he could have acted faster in alerting his father. Was Henry's own bout of vengeance why, even subliminally, Joe felt justified in leaving B.J. Vines to die? Joe argued as much, and McClarnon imbued his words with great nobility when confronted in this dreamscape by FBI agent Washington. But a dance sequence that followed got Joe all turned around again, as Washington argued that priests and businessmen are good guys, and Leaphorn really should be better at his job by now. This dreamscape, in a sequence where Emma chastised her husband for being lax in building a fence around their garden, also urged Joe to realize how time and again he prioritizes work over family, especially when deciding to invite death into their home by effectively killing Vines without so much as alerting his wife. Joe loves Emma so deeply, and McClarnon made clear the character's sadness as disappointing her so. Honorable mention. Deborah and Wall. Come on. Get in. If only you could hear our hearts beat when Karen showed up in the Daredevil, Born Again finale to escort Matt and Frank to safety and some TLC, after their 4-story free fall onto a car roof. Working opposite Charlie Cox and John Bernthal, Deborah and Wall, last seen in this Disney Plus revival's premiere, instantly brought great weight to the scenes that followed, due to Karen's distinct pasts with each of these men. With Frank, Karen's banter has a hint of heat that speaks to their unresolved dynamic in Marvel's Daredevil Season 2, and in Wall's voice, you feel Karen still wanting to heal this bad boy. With Matt, Karen is decidedly warmer. She is not only a voice of reason he regards, but she in some ways represents the elusive light Daredevil's alter ego spoke of in their final scene.